Hey Giovanna, what's worse than hitting a person with a tennis ball?
I don't know. What?
Hitting two people with a tennis ball. That's right. Novak Djokavic, the #1 men's singles tennis player in the world, has hit not one but two line judges during recent tennis play. During the first incident at the US Open, Djokovic hit a ball in frustration, which then hit a line judge in the neck. She cried out and hit the ground before Djokovic ran over to her. He was then disqualified from this tournament. Then a few weeks later, he accidentally hit another line judge with a tennis ball during the French Open.
Dang, since when did tennis become dodgeball? Those poor line judges never saw it coming.
For real. Well, Djokovic has an interesting solution to his problem, getting rid of line judges altogether. Djokovic recently shared his opinion that all line judges should be replaced with technology. Hawkeye technology, which is used in some tennis tournaments now, can detect if a ball lands inside the court or outside. With this technology, he thinks there's no reason to keep line judges on the court at all.
I guess without line judges, he won't have any targets to hit.
That's true. Today, though, we want to talk to another professional tennis player to hear his opinion about line judges.
You know a professional tennis player?
I sure do. Giovanna and NexGen News, please say hello to Bradley Klahn. Bradley, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks, NexGen News, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
We were wondering, what is your opinion about technology replacing line judges?
Obviously, with COVID, we're trying to reduce the amount of people on site and on the court at all times. And it's a great initiative in terms of safety for that. You do have the cost of the electronic line calling. They already have the electronic line calling on a lot of the courts as a backup for the line judges. But you also have the cost of paying all the linesmen and their expenses for the tournament. And then it becomes just purely from a cost-benefit analysis, what is more expensive in the long run. As more of these tournaments introduce electronic line calling, the scale should help that the cost going down.
Thanks for that perspective. I wasn't really thinking about it in terms of money.
Okay, our last question is, how do you think technology replacing line judges will affect professional tennis?
I think it'll affect professional tennis in a way that there will be less arguments on court, and we'll ultimately have to take the decision that the electronic line calling makes as final. You take away the human element, and there's no second guessing what the electronic line calling says goes. I've watched some of the recent tournaments that have used it, and if there's ever a close call, they will show a video of the ball so you can tell that where it landed and how close it actually was. But once they make that quick call, it is final. However, there are some instances where the electronic line calling isn't completely accurate. There's still a measurement of like a little margin of error for it. And in instances where there's a blatant mistake, the chair umpire has the authority to overrule, in which case that becomes final. And you could get some disagreements with players being upset about that, but I do think it takes, in the long run, I think it takes some of the guesswork out and will eventually adapt to this electronic line calling.
That's true. You can't argue with technology.
Thanks so much, Bradley, for talking with us today, and best of luck in your next tournament.
Thanks so much. Goodbye, NexGen.
It's so cool you know him.
What can I say? I've got the hookup. Stay tuned to see if tennis line judges get replaced by technology, if Djokovic managed to hit another one before then, and check out Bradley Klahn in his next tournament.